All right, man. Live. Let's do this thing, man. All right, let's see. Get my headphones. Get that. Adjust my hat. All that good stuff. I still can't believe I have this freaking hat. This hat is legendary for sure. This thing's amazing. This is such an awesome hat. But yeah, gotta wait for some people to show up in here. I'm gonna get right into it. Yo, Infinite Burst. Yo, John's World. Hey, a bunch of people are showing up. Dang, 7 people are showing up out of nowhere. Hello. I'm first. Infinite Burst, I think you are, man. Logan. Yo, Simply's in here. New intro, you need to watch it. Dude, okay, it's wild. It's so wild. Okay, so we've got an epic review. So I know people are saying new opening. Don't spoil me on anything, no spoilers, I'll get into it and such. But yeah, figure there's gonna be a new opening because a lot of things are switching around with the anime right now. But yeah. We got the new episode. So it came out today. Episode number 39. It's crazy to think. So in the timetable, I mean, it's usually like 51 episodes it goes to for each season, which is pretty nuts. 51 or 52, something like that. But that means we got like 12 left after this, technically. So there's a lot of stuff that can happen with this. But yeah, there's a few things I know about. I'll get into them at the end of the review. Don't worry. I know there's new things that have been like leaked and such, but don't freak out or anything. I'll get into it all towards the end. That's how I go. But first, we're going to get through the episode review. Episode number 39. Big time hype. You already know they're bringing Delta back into the fray because we got the new releases that just came out. That being like the day after Christmas they released too, which is pretty nuts. Like Merry Christmas, like everybody, obviously like late Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you guys got good gifts and such. Like I said, my family doesn't celebrate really or anything, so I was just chilling out the whole day. I was actually putting out a lot of videos for you guys. I made a lot of videos the night before, and my signal is so bad that I couldn't actually get them out on Christmas, and I was like, yeah, freaking kidding. Come on. But yeah, a lot of those videos I managed to get out like yesterday, and even make some videos today. I'm making a lot of I'm getting a lot of skits done because I'm trying to get, my focus is to get the skit series done before the end of the year. And there's a lot like of skits that I record. I recorded a lot of skit footage last night. So, like I'm saying, anybody who doesn't know, it's lagging. I apologize for that. If it's lagging, I'm trying to get as close to the door as I can. I'm also in the middle of the woods and my signal's not the best. So, it makes it a little bit hard. But yeah, can you guys like hear me okay? Can you see me okay and everything? I know it might lag a little bit. It's okay? Okay, good. Just making sure. I know the signal might not be the best because, like I said, I live in the middle of the woods. It's not an exaggeration. It's a fact. So it's kind of tough. But yeah, also, we got to pay homage to this moment. You guys want to know why? Because this is the last moment in which I will be wearing these particular gloves. At the beginning of every year, I started this tradition back in 2017. I switched the gloves. You know what I mean? So this is going to be the last time I'm wearing these gloves for this year. Well, the last time we'll be wearing these gloves, actually. 2017 had the yellow gloves. 2018 had the red gloves. This year, 2019, had the purple gloves. And I do have the other gloves. They have arrived, but I will not be unveiling what color they are or what the color is until the next year. But yeah, I bet I could beat you in a Beyblade battle. I mean, there's no strongest blader. Everybody loses. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know I'll face people. I might win some battles. I might lose some battles. It's all about having fun and making those moments for people. You know what I mean? But yeah, did you already start? I haven't started the episode yet. I'm just doing the intro and such for it. But yeah, all I know is just like, it's been a wild year, really, really hype. And this is going to be a sentimental moment because I'm even going to look back at this video myself and be like, this is it for the purple gloves. Well, at least episode review, because the next episode review will be in 2020, because it's like 13 days set apart, because obviously they're not doing one this next Friday because it's the new year and such, but the Friday after, that's when they will, and I'll have the I almost said the color. I'll have the new gloves then. But yeah, Gwen equals Phi. Maybe, I mean, I feel like it's gonna get darker than how it did with Phi, because Phi was breaking amazing. Phi, okay, we'll get into more about that later on. I'll talk more about this after the episode, but we're gonna get into the episode right now. So crazy, dude. Episode number 39, the hype, and you guys know I can't show it or anything because copyright, all that good stuff. But yeah, But we're gonna get in this. I got it pulled up right here, and it's time to look at this new episode. All right. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. People are saying there's like a new intro, so let's see it. Mm, 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 mm. I just love the intro music. All right, drum with his dragon. Ichika, Amane's little bro. They're all dancing. Okay, that's regular. So what are they switching up? Oh, they showed Delta next to drum! Yo, they're gonna make him good. It's a given. Oh, what? Whoa! Okay. That's a that's a bigger detail than people might realize. Well, they showed obviously like drum Amane, and they showed Delta next to drum. So it's a given. Like they're sort of making him like kind of the Ryuga level, because I mean just how Master Diabolos is, obviously with it being released and such, I can talk about it. How Diabolos is the main gimmick for it, and plus it's basically got the burst final survival on it. So they're making Delta that badass character, which is really, really cool. It's really, really cool. But the big thing for this, in this intro, they showed Arthur next to Gwen. I've been afraid of that, honestly. Like those two together. Oh, dude, I'm shook. All right, but we're gonna get into the rest of it. All right, here we go. So showing off Delta with his power. All right, and drum with dragon. Go shoot. All right, here we go. Have you seen the teaser poster? I have seen the teaser poster, and I'll talk about that too after. But here we go. Diabolos, I think that's like revive. Diabolos, something like that. All right, here we go. We're getting into it. Oh, it's Ashura and Dragon, Amane and Amane and Drum are battling right now. Dragon just took it with the over finish. Drum's like, I've got to get stronger. That move, though. That move that Gwen used. Regalia Big Bang. It burst the dragon and tried to break it. He's like, Amane, one more time. Ichika said, wait, don't you guys want to take a break? I got a kitty. Like she's holding the cat. That's kind of cool. They're like, no, we're going to keep battling. Ichika's like, all right, fine. They're going for another battle. Uncle just showed up. He just mentioned Delta. He said, nice. He's probably saying that, like, Delta's Diabolos is getting repaired. Or it's been repaired. They got on a plane. Oh, they're like, their battle's happening. We're at the Hell Tower, dude. The facility of Hell. The Hell Group. And it's Arthur. He's like, let's get over with this battle already. Who's showing up? It's Delta! Delta's showing up to get payback against Arthur, dude. Everybody's like, oh, Delta? Delta's reemerged with his new Diabolos. He's like, Diabolos has been repaired, huh? Fine, then I'll break it again. The battle's all serious. Like, the tone's all serious, and then you just hear drum, Delta! He's like, what? And then they're all booking it towards Delta. He's like, you showed up, huh? Koryu Drum. Delta! Drum's giving like a big hug. He's like, Delta's just like, get off me. You can tell. He still got that like hard personality, because it's just how Delta is. He's just like, he's a loner. It's a given. They're all like, what? Drum looked down. Oh, Diabolos! He's like, Diabolos has been fixed. You know, it's got a new driver. He said it's Master Diabolos. So this is how we see Master Diabolos. He's like, oh, it's so cool. Delta's like, give me it. Ooh. Arthur's basically just saying, like, we want to see just a channel. I can't show it because copyright. You know, there's rules with it. If so, I get in big trouble. So I can't physically show it and I can't have the audio playing. I want to, but I can't. And I'm just explaining everything as much as I can. Where's Naked Spriggan? Naked Spriggan is one of those bays. It's like the random booster bays, like, you know how there is like Cosmo Valkyrie, Flare Dragon, Tact Longinus, now Naked Spriggan. They're bays that are prizes for the booster, but it's definitely like at first I thought it was gonna be like they were gonna maybe make these bays go in the series, but over time, just showing how they're doing it, they're exclusive to the boosters. You know, they're exclusive way to get these layers and such. That way people buy the booster. It's a smart marketing strategy, but they're not going to actually have them in the show. And it seems that way at this point because the like you're not going to see all these characters get like these bays and such. You know what I mean? So it's definitely given that like they're set for the boosters, so that you want to get the parts and such, but they're exclusive to the boosters and like the toy line. So they won't be like, you know, they won't be for like the actual show, which, you know, is kind of disappointing, but hey, you know, I mean, we're getting the base. But yeah, so Naked Spriggan, you know, and those bays, you know, like, you know, yeah, they're exclusive to the boosters, all that good stuff. But basically, what Arthur just said with this, he's like, I'm going to get payback. I'm going to defeat Diabolos again. I'm going to shatter it again. And then I'm going to come for Dragon and I'm going to defeat it and crush it. Because, you know, it's Apocalypse. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to take it easy. And he holds it out. He holds out Apocalypse. Like, when I defeat him, I'm going to battle you again. And I'm going to beat you. He's like, you may have won once, but it won't happen again. He held it up so cool. He's like, you're not defeating Diabolos this time. Oh, it's a flashback. Oh, so this is okay. So obviously, after, you know, after Diabolos got broken the first time when facing Apocalypse, he went back to BC Soul. Delta started off at BC Soul. You know, he went there to get stronger. Drum was at BC Soul for a bit, and then he ended up going on to Victories. You know, but you know, Delta returned after Diabolos got broken, and he met up with Vault. And now we're getting this flashback to this moment. So at first he was depressed. He wasn't even looking at his Bay. He wasn't even thinking about Beyblade. He was just bummed because Diabolos got broken. He was heartbroken. His Bay just got destroyed, you know. But he's talking with Vault. Because Vault's experienced it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Vault's had his Valkyrie broken. You know, Valkyrie got broken before, but he fixed it. That's the true thing about coming back. It's the same thing with Iga. You know, his Achilles got broken, he came back. Drum, his Dragon got broken, came back. It's funny because all the protagonists have had their bays broken and they're coming back, which, you know, shows their strength. But, you know, anyways, we're getting to this point. Vault's talking to Delta right now. They're in a room right now with a bunch of equipment. And then he said, Delta, it's like it's a given you love Beyblading. Beyblade's fun. Delta look down. He's like, you can fix your Diabolos. So he puts down the parts for Diabolos. He's designing new parts on a computer. Vault's standing right next to him. And the wind starts to blow in from the window. And he's looking outside. Oh man, it's like it's a spot where like they were all battling in BC Soul. But now it's also where like Delta and Vault and Drum battled. Well, they also battled in the area where Free was at. Delta's getting flashbacks to when Drum first had Ace Dragon, and Delta looked out like, "Do you think you can win with your Bay?" He's like, "I got my Bay, and I love Beyblading, and I see that stadium over there, and my Dragon. I know I can make it stronger." And now he's designing Master Diabolos. He's thinking of all the times when he was harsh to Drum. He's really thinking about it, dude. Delta's gonna have a change of heart. He's gonna be that badass character, dude. I've always wanted to like Delta. It was seem like it opened his eyes just having Apocalypse get broken. I mean, like Apocalypse breaking Diabolos and having Diabolos get broken. He's always thought about whenever Drum seen him and got really hyped, even though being his rival. It's like Drum and Delta have always been kind of rivals, but also friends at the same time, you know. But Delta always just was like kind of cold hearted because he just focused on getting stronger and his own power. But now he's learning, and he's sitting and he's improving it. While I was talking to him, he's like, he's just smiling because he knows he's working hard. Delta finished it. He designed Master Diabolos. It's like Diabolos. He's back. Delta's looking out the window. He's wearing a black blazer. He's got a blazer on too. It's kind of cool. And he held up Diabolos from BC Soul. And now we get a flashback to the present. That was a nice way they did that, though. They told the whole story of like how we got Diabolos, you know, the things that we needed in between, and like, you know, the little details that we needed in between. They gave us those details, and now we're back to the present. He's like, let's battle. This time I'll defeat you. Arthur's looking like, you really think that you can defeat me just because your Bay got upgraded? Dang, he's not even looking at Delta. He's focusing on Drum. He's like, Choreo Drum. Like he's going to beat him. He's overlooking Delta right now, and that's going to be a big mistake. He's like, I've got this. You know Delta's coming for the head. He's trying to get payback against Arthur. Arthur destroyed his Diabolo, so he has to go against this. Like, he has to win this battle, and he has to go against Apocalypse again. That's what I always thought. Gwen, oh. In the middle of this, like, you know, the battle's going on. Gwen's watching from his screen. Gwen's watching in the shadows. The way they set this up, it's a given Gwen's going to be the ultimate evil. Like, these last 3 episodes have really, really shown and clarified everything. Like I said, Arthur was that man to beat role. He's strong. And Drum's the only one that's defeated him. So Delta has a lot to prove with this battle. But also, Gwen's been sitting in the shadows and also beat Dragon and bursted it the last time. Didn't break it, but bursted it and still beat it. So currently, like, power-wise, it's like Vault hasn't lost. So, you know, he hasn't lost or anything. But it's also like Gwen hasn't lost as well. So Vault versus Gwen, who will win? It's currently, I don't know, man. Currently, I like Vault a lot, but just how Gwen is and how genius of a blader he is. He's a genius beyond like imagining, considering how much power Gwen's gained in a short period. Vault would have trouble. That's for sure. But yeah, oh man, I pushed the wrong button. Oh no. Well, I'll go back to the right spot. Here we go. Come on. Just gotta load. Yeah, let's see here. Arthur is the Heart's Hide of GT and Gwen's the Fire GT. That's exactly what I'd say, but I think Gwen's gonna go further than Fi went. Fi broke, you know, obviously we know the story of Phoenix breaking Hades and joining that power together. I really feel like it might be more to it, and I'll explain more after this. But for right now, let's just get into this episode. Let's see here. All right. Just waiting for it to load. All right. Gotta fast forward a little bit more. I pushed the wrong button and accidentally went back to Google, and I was like, oh God. Oh no. Waiting for it to load. Just got to process. Come on. You can do it. Nice hat. Thanks. Do you like Master Diabolos? Master Diabolos is awesome, dude. And I love the gimmick that they have for it. It's so sick. What's up, Legendary Gamer? How's it going? I hate how TT made old professional bladers weak now like Vault. They're not weak at all. Here's the thing. It's storytelling. With the way that they've done this, they have not made old characters look weak. All the characters are still strong. People just like to put this whole thing of this blader's strong, this blader's weak because they've lost or such. But here's the thing, especially the way that they set it up. And we've all seen the silhouette for the 5th season that's confirmed to be coming in the spring of 2020. Everybody's coming back. So they made all these, we've introduced all of these characters. You guys got to think about it. They could use anybody with this because they're setting this up to be endgame. They could use anybody with this. How many characters have we seen throughout the duration of Beyblade Burst? Throughout all 4 seasons that we've seen thus far. They can bring back any of those characters that they want to. With new bays, with this new system that are on this level. And it's like there's so much that they can do with this. There's so many different characters they can bring back, so many different things they can do with this. They could even make different versions of it. Because, I mean, think about it. Loden having Longinus, Louis having Longinus. 2 different versions of Longinus. Even the same thing with Fafnir. Even the same thing with, like, what other bladers? Like Excalibur. You know what I mean? Just, it's wild, man. Do you think the new season is confirmed next year? It is. It is. It's a given. They made the silhouette for it. TT's just waiting to show off what this new season is until 2020, because it's about to be the new year. You know, they don't have to drop anything about it. They don't have to drop anything about it even like this month or next month or such. They put out that teaser, so we're sitting and we're thinking about that because they show the silhouettes of all of these characters that it's a given. They're all older. They're all their current like selves, you know, like age-wise, and they're bringing all of them together for like Endgame type Beyblade Burst Endgame, basically, essentially. And they've hyped it up with this. So there's so much with it, but we're gonna get back in that episode. All right, here we go. But yeah, Gwen's watching on the screen and just smiling. Watching Diabolos closely. Here we go, do the first battle. Oh, ready, settle. 3, 2, 1. Go. Shoot! Delta's got the same launch and everything, dude. Here we go, Master Diabolos. Okay. First thing I'm going to say is, does nobody else realize how much this battle already is like Pegasus versus El Drago and Metal Fury? Because Jenga obviously having, you know, the final drive on it, you know, it had the semi-flat and then it circled around more. The ultimate reboot that Apocalypse has, basically the same thing. Diabolos being like El Drago, having the whole flat, like the final survive, the whole flat circling around first, and then going to the stamina towards the center. The final, like, you know, the final survive type of setup. Dude, that's crazy. They're paying homage with that. Like, even with this, like, just with this setup, dude, that's nuts. That's so wild. Just that small little thing. They're paying, like, homage to Metal Fight with this. That's nuts. That's so crazy. That's so cool. Kimbo ignoring me, meanie. I'm not ignoring. I'm just also, like, reading this and such, you know? Like, I gotta tell you guys what's going on with this. Do you think that the teaser silhouette of season 5 could be a decoy? After all, the teaser silhouette of Legendary Bladers from Metal Saga was a decoy. I want to say it's a decoy. It's a teaser. You know, it's a given. Like I said, I'll get more into it afterwards. I'll explain more afterwards. But we got to get through this because if I keep talking about like things in between, you know, it'll take even longer. But I'll get to it towards the end. Oh, Diabolo shoots right in. Sends Apocalypse flying in the air, dude. But it lands on the ridge. Goes in. Big attacks. Diabolos is hardly budging. He's like, Diabolos has gotten stronger. It won't be affected by your attacks anymore. They're analyzing it. When he launched hard, obviously it's in the whole flat mode, so it's more aggressive. But then when it slows down, it has the survive tip, so it ups its stamina. This is where it's vulnerable, because it's at a certain point. That's a big moment. Okay, what just happened was Drum said something. Delta actually listened this time, and he remembered what back to what Vault said. It seemed like Vault told him that Drum and him have always been connected, and they've always been sort of rivals, but also friends. And Drum's always looked out for Delta, whether Delta's been just a pain in the butt and not paying attention to it or not. He has. That's a fact. And Delta actually looked over and said, Drum, and smiled. It's hitting towards it, dude. I think at this point, it's safe to say Delta's out of the picture of being evil. He's just stubborn. And Diabolos kind of took over him a little bit, like with the resonance and such. You know what I mean? It was sort of like that Red Eye level of it, but now he's come to learn it. So it's like Shu going from like Red Eye to like how Shu is now, getting that true resonance with Diabolos. Sort of that, I think. You know what I mean? But yeah. Drums on the outside just getting fired up. Diabolos! Gold Turbo. It's gotten stronger. He's like, it won't work. Apocalypse! Here we go, dude. The Dark Turbo. Master Upper. Final Blaster. Here we go. The big impact. Both are hitting each other in the center of the stadium. Big hits. Oh! Diabolos hit the wall and went back in, but Apocalypse went out. Delta's got a point. He's like, The announcer shook. He's like, oh, my Lord. Diabolos got the KO on Apocalypse. Drums fired off. He's like, yeah, Delta. Gwyn's watching, just kind of unimpressed. Just like, oh, it did well. Arthur just sitting and laughing. Delta's like, this next battle, I'm going to finish this. Drums yelling to him, you got this. And they're continuing in the next battle. And then it ends with a silhouette of Arthur and Delta looking at one another. So Diabolos is going to switch the rotations. And all the big hits and how it absorbs the power. Master Slash. And that's how they set it up. Okay. I'll give my thoughts in a little bit. Just going to look at what TT has to say, to show at the end of this. All right, they're showing off Master Diabolos because it just got released, 26th, along with the new random booster, and I'll get into that as well. So how it has the different ways of switching the mode. It has like the piece in the center of it. You flip it over, and then it makes it where it can go in right rotation or left rotation. That's how you switch the rotation of it, which is really cool. Simple fix for it. And how it has metal on the center. Gives it some good weight. So it's going to have a lot of weight to it because it's got a lot of plastic. It's got a lot of weight. Is that it? Yeah, that is it. Okay. So now it's time to talk about things big time. That's funny because it ended off right at 30 minutes. Right at 30 minutes, too. So that seems like a good spot. All right. So anyways, getting into this. Now it's time for me to give my thoughts on everything. So it's like I said, let's see. I'm going to make a video by Just the Channel. Thanks so much for coming out, man. Definitely appreciate it. Okay, so you guys know I never try to say anything like wrong or to deter with these videos. You know, sometimes it's speculation and such, but just the way that they built things up, you can put a lot of pieces together with things. And obviously, like news that we've gotten, and I'll get to that a little bit. But first, we're going to start off with this. So the way the battle goes, who do I think is going to win between Apocalypse and Diabolos? Delta's getting his revenge. That's my opinion. Delta's going to get his revenge, and he's going to win. Master Diabolos is going to take down Prime Apocalypse. So it'll be like two people beating Apocalypse, that being Drum and that being Delta, and it shows how strong they both are. But I definitely see that happening. Like the way they've hyped it up, how can Diabolos lose this? And especially, it's usually whenever a new Bay comes out, it won't lose. You know what I mean? Like right away. And Diabolos is going to win over Apocalypse, definitely. Because it feels like I've always thought this too. I'm like, Arthur's not the true evil. He's breaking bays, but he's not the true evil. He's the man to beat role. And that's the role that he had. Then Drum beat him. Like he broke, Diabolos and such, but then Drum managed to beat him. Then he's like, I've got to, like, if I'm going to face Drum or even be able to beat Drum or be on that level, then I've got to beat Apocalypse. And that's why he's going back. He's getting paid back. That's what I always thought. I'm like, after this, he's going to get a new Diabolos, and he's going to go back and he's going to face Arthur, and both things have happened. Master Diabolos now facing Arthur, and it's given Delta's going to win this. Delta's definitely got to win this battle, because the way it got released on the 26th. It got released literally yesterday. There's no way that's going to lose just because of plot. We're not going to have Diabolos lose. So yeah, Diabolos is going to win against Apocalypse. Now, what's going to happen with this? This is what I'm thinking. Oh, sounds intense. Oh yeah, but yeah. My boy, yeah, a lot of theories and such with this. I watched the show a lot of details and such with it. JMP Beats is one of my friends at home. Anybody who doesn't know, he's one of my good friends at home that I talk to on the regular. And he's not used to like hearing a bunch of like the Beyblade theories or anything, or seeing how much there is with it, but there's obviously a lot, but just like big time theories with it. So it's crazy to think it. Diabolos is gonna win against Apocalypse, but then I think that the next battle after that, well, Gwen's sitting and watching right now. My honest opinion, the next battle that I think might happen is gonna be is probably gonna be Gwen maybe challenging Arthur. Because like Delta being Arthur, like that will be the point where it'll be like Gwen versus Arthur. That's a battle I wanted to see this season. It's like the one they've set up that's had to happen. The two bays with the Mugen Lock system facing off, and neither one of them being supposed to burst. But the way they set it up, one of them bursting. But I see this happening. Gwen's gonna go in and maybe face Arthur, challenge Arthur, or maybe they work together or something. Because obviously in the intro in this, we saw Gwen and Arthur next to one another. Maybe it's like Gwen takes Arthur's power or something like this, or they join their power together. But we're going to get a new Genesis, because anybody who hasn't known, well, first I'll get into the releases that have come out this month. Master Diabolos, obviously. And also Naked Spriggan, the new random booster with Naked Spriggan being the prize bay. If anybody's wondering, I did pre-order them. Got to wait for them to get here. Probably will be in the new year, 2020. All that good stuff. They'll get here, do battles with them. Per usual, all the normal things that go on with that. And I usually avoid seeing all the particular parts of the base, so I'm surprised myself with what they look like. But yeah, hello, my name's Michael, and I'm your new subscriber. Thanks so much, man. I definitely appreciate it big time. You're the person that got me into Beyblade. I want to thank you so much. You're the best. Keep up with the good work. Yo, Bricks, I appreciate it big time. I just love all the support, spreading the love. That's what I'm all about. You know what I mean? Making those moments for people out there, that might be struggling and such, because I struggle with my own life, and And if that means like people can have that joy or happiness, and they're struggling and such, and they watch my videos to do that, which I'm totally honored about. That's why I do it. You know what I mean? People know they're not alone. Like, we all struggle and such, and we can all have a good laugh and just do what we love to do. Beyblade, Bakugan, even if you're into one and not the other one, or you're into both, So I love doing my videos, and that's what it's all about for me. Anyways, like I said, getting into this. So obviously the new random booster, Naked Spriggan, just coming out and such, I'm gonna get my hands on it, all that good stuff. But the way things are going with the anime, I've Vault still hasn't had like a big time battle where he's lost. And I feel like they're going to probably bring him in the fray a little bit later on. But for now, the big focus, like I said, Arthur's always felt like the hearts to me of this season because it's like somebody's got to be higher up on that pedestal. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be higher up. The way they put him in, it feels like he's like the heart's role, the man to beat for right now, but not the full out evil of this because they're not going to release that Bay until the beginning of the next year. And obviously, January 2020, we finally got a thing for it. It was dropped like I think yesterday or like today, sometime. That being the Bay's name. Anybody who doesn't want a big time spoiler, it's Big Bang Genesis. Like, you know, Big Bang Pegasus, Big Bang Genesis, except it's going to be the full out evil. So the way I think this is going to be built up, Gwen's going to go nuts. It's a given. Gwen's getting so much power into Genius Blader to the point he wanted to break Dragon, but couldn't break Dragon. But the Bays that he does face, he's going to break. So in the manga, he actually faced off against Amane and Ashura and broke them. I can imagine it happening in the show. Maybe Gwen showing up and just breaking Ashura, being like, I want to show you my power. And then I'm going to take your Bay and absorb its parts. So not only how dark Phi got, you know, because obviously Phi, like, you know, Phoenix broke Hades, his brother's Bay, and made Dead Phoenix or Dread Phoenix, you know, and combined them together. Gwen, I feel like, is going to do that with multiple Bays. That's one way they can make this crazier because they up the intensity and such and more breaks with each season. That's the way they can make it, is if they not only put one per, it's pretty obvious, Kimbo. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but just you got to hear like my explanation for things too, and the way they build things. You know, they try to up it more and more and more. It might be obvious to some people, they might realize it, but some people might not realize it, and it's just something I'm explaining. You know what I mean? But breaking multiple Bays, infusing multiple Bays with their Bay. That's the way they could do it. And that's what they're definitely going to set up with Gwen. So maybe they have it where Mane's Ashura gets broken. Gwen uses some of that power, includes it with Genesis. Diabolos, the way that this thing looks, anybody who doesn't know, Big Bang Genesis, the way it looks, it has some red on it, it has pink on it, and it has a similar shape to like some other Bays. You know what I mean? Like combine it into one. So like for Ashura, the way that the spines are sticking out on the sides, on the outside, reminds me a lot of Ashura. So you can see Ashura getting broken, its power getting put in with it. And then there's red parts on the top. Actually, no. We'll get into this first. Apocalypse. I can imagine Apocalypse getting broken. Maybe Apocalypse breaking is what sets this off to where it gets this first part. The metal on it. Anybody looks at the design for the new Big Bang Genesis, you look up the design for it. The metal on the inside looks a lot like how Apocalypse's metal does. It really does. The way that it's around, like on the curves on both sides, it looks a lot like Apocalypse's, and especially those 2 points on the top and the bottom looks very, very similar. So you can imagine like either like them combining together or just like Gwen taking Arthur's Apocalypse's power by force, like how Phi did. The same sort of thing. And then that's how we get the start of Big Bang. So not only like, you know, maybe Amane's power, but also Arthur's power. That's how we get the part of Apocalypse in there. The shape of it from Ashura. That's how you get that. But then the top part, the red part, dude, it reminds me a little bit of Diabolos. I'm not going to lie. It does. Just those top wings remind me a little bit of Diabolos. What if like Gwen just comes in, like you got a new Bay, a few new battles with Master Diabolos, but then Gwen's just like, nah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to break it. And even takes Diabolos' power, new power, even some of it, even if he manages to like revive it somehow, some way afterwards. But you got the power of Diabolos, you got the power of Apocalypse, you got the power of Ashura and Genesis, all in one Bay, Big Bang Genesis. And it continues to just like try and evolve because it's got the hybrid. So it can like counter in many different ways. You know, it's got the stamina to stay in the center or circle around big time. It's an electronic driver, so it can be very unpredictable. And that's the way that they set it up for the ultimate evil of this season. And then we get crazy strong characters coming into the fray. You know how we had it where, like, you know, Phi faced off against Free, then he faced off against Shu, and then he faced off against Iga, but he lost against Iga. You know what I mean? Sort of that setup with this, except it's with protagonists this time. So imagine this is how we get Iga to come back in the fray. Achilles gets broken with this battle. Vault comes back into the fray. Vault's Valkyrie gets broken. Drum comes back in the fray. You know, like he's obviously in the fray and such now with obviously Dragon, and that's the big build up. But that's the ultimate setup. And then maybe Drum wins this and ends up becoming like the number one or such. Who knows? Like they can end this with so many different ways. It usually ended with like the protagonist winning it. And I can imagine Drum possibly being the winner at the very end of this. You know what I mean? Being the one to take down Big Bang Genesis. You know, coming down to that. Even if it's like one of the end battles, I can imagine it being Diabolos, being one of the very last battles. It's going to be wild, dude. But that also, with that build, would lead into the 5th season. And like I said, they have the silhouette of all these bladers together because it's a given. They have to have Vault, Iga, and Drum all battle together. That's one thing they have not done. And I'm like, just because of plot, they got to do that. That's something we all want to see. We all want to see the 3 protagonists come together and battle. And that's the ultimate setup that we're going to get with the 5th season, where they all do come together and they do battle. And that's what this is going to lead up to. Let's see, you're taking that suggestion from Zanky. I'm just using like ideas, you know, like ideas. I'm just, you know, things that I've thought about for the longest time. And you know, now having all these new episodes and such, being able to really fully clarify these things happening, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not taking any ideas from anyone, just ideas had in mind, you know, all that good stuff. But we got to get that build with all 3 protagonists. That's something that I've wanted to see, I know for sure. Like, imagine those 3 facing off, you know? Like, that's the build. And then you see the silhouettes of all these characters coming back and such, you know, maybe like, see, now you look, I'm looking at the comments and also trying to like explain things too. It's difficult when you have a lot of people commenting, and also just, you know, yeah, it's kind of difficult. Kimbo, Gwyn is not the final evil for season 5 though. I think it's gonna be a super powerful blader. No, like for this season, Gwyn's gonna be the evil. For the next season, we're getting basically the Diablo nemesis for Burst. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whoever's the evil in the 5th season, this is Endgame. This is going to be somebody that's trying to destroy the world. And we're going to get the Rago, the true Rago of this era of Burst with the 5th season. We haven't seen it yet. Like, we're obviously getting evil, more breaks and such, but we don't have somebody that's trying to take over the planet. We have people that are like, oh, I'm going to destroy bays and I'm going to destroy every other bay and such like that, but not trying to destroy an entire planet, like trying to destroy the entire world and kill everyone. We haven't gotten that dark yet. We're dark, but we're not that dark yet. But the 5th season, hands down, is going to be that way. Do you think there's going to be new Bladers in season 5? I could definitely imagine it. Older characters coming back, being really, really strong, and then putting in maybe a couple of new characters with it as well. You know what I mean? Because we'll get older characters getting like new bays and such, maybe even different forms of them. Like I said, I mean, they got a lot of different situations to deal with. I mean, like Fumia, what are they going to do with like Fumia and Free? You know, Free coming back, are they just going to cast aside Fumia, or they're going to make like 2 different Fafnirs, and they're going to be like designed based on each of their styles? You know what I mean? If they're going to bring back every character, because this is something we got to think about. Like also Louis and Loading, same thing. Xhaka and Jan, same thing. You know, with Excalibur, it's those things. We still were wondering about all those questions, but time will tell with them. And regardless, seeing these Bladers come back with like the newest system, all these bays and such, is going to be wild. But that also means all of our wallets are going to be destroyed because they're going to be putting out a lot of releases. So it's going to be absolutely bonkers. But yeah, do you think the side characters will come back like Iger's sister? Maybe. I can imagine them making like small little cameos and such. They're going to obviously be focusing on like the big characters and such for sure. But yeah, I wonder if they're going to be 2 Ragnaroks. That's what I'm wondering too, because the silhouette that we got showed Rantaro and Ranjiro. They're brothers. Ranjiro is Rantaro's little brother, and they both had Ragnarok or Octavore. So imagine they make 2 different ones depending on their styles. I would not mind that at all, honestly. But time's going to tell with it, and it's going to be crazy to see how TT's going to implement this, because they're setting it up for Endgame. A lot of different Bladers coming back. They're like, everybody's going to be here. So those that have, like, you know, both owners of Longinus, both owners of Fafnir, both owners of Excalibur, they're the only ones that really have 2. You know what I mean? But yeah. It's going to be the Snake Pit returning. I can imagine the evils joining up, like the evils of all these seasons. You know what I mean? Um, right now, like, what if it's like Gwyn doesn't turn good after this? I mean, imagine like you have Gwyn, and then you have Arthur, or Ashton from season 2, and also Eval from season 3, Turbo. All of them joined together with whatever this evil is, like, because how like Doji came back in like season 3 and got revenge on Ryuga, things like that. Maybe they do that with this last season, because just how plot is. You want to wait, because they're gonna try to make season 5 the biggest one, the craziest one. You know what I mean? But yeah, Fi and Hearts can return as good guys this time. I could definitely imagine that. They'd be badass characters for sure, because it seems like they turned a good lead, or they at least have that close bond. And like Fi's not as cold hearted anymore. You know what I mean? Because he's got that bond with Hearts again. So I can imagine them coming back as like cool, badass characters that show up at some points. But yeah, imagine if the new antagonist is an adult who was the first #1 blader. I don't know. All I know is whoever's going to be the main antagonist is literally going to be somebody so cold-hearted that no matter who they face, they're going to try to completely destroy them. Like, not like just, oh, I'm going to mess with your bay or anything like that. Like, they're just going to destroy them. They're trying to destroy the entire world. They're going to destroy their bay, and it's going to be about like maybe reviving this ultimate bay or something like that. Maybe like how they did the Nemesis Crisis. Who knows? But it's got to be that level, because that's the ultimate way that you can make a series, is if they get to that point where they're destroying the entire world. Like, the fate of the world is at stake with this. Not just bays getting broken or anything like that, or being like the ultimate ruler or something like that. Like, they're actually physically destroying the world. Gwyn isn't really a threat. Let's see. They just need to not go up against him. They can't just not go up against him. Gwyn is a threat, though. And if you don't see that Gwyn's a threat, that's a crazy thing. Drum beat Arthur. Delta hasn't beaten Arthur yet, but like Drum's the only one that beat Arthur. And then Gwyn just came in and clowned him while being a genius blader. That's a threat. That's a big threat, especially if it seems like their motives are breaking bays, which Gwyn's motives are there. Tried to do so with Dragon, and he got mad and left because he couldn't. And he turned his head like this. Like, that's some creepy crap. Like, that, you can't ignore that. You just can't. You can't do that. But yeah, let's see here. The main character is going to be Vault again. It's going to be Vault, Drum, and Iga. They're going to focus on all 3 for sure. So they're all going to get big focus, But yeah, it's got to be 22-minute episodes, possibly so, especially having all these characters and such. They can go back to 22 minutes again. But yeah, and probably GT, this will be the shortest series, kind of episode-wise, because the episodes are shorter. But with all of this detail and such, they could easily make 22-minute episodes with all these characters coming back. But yeah, they're all going to be, big time focus. You're at 60K subscribers. I remember when you were at 1,000. Dude, you're doing good with your videos. Keep on going with the work, man. Gotta go. Yo, Bricks, thanks so much, man. It's just crazy. Definitely appreciate it for sure. I feel like Gwyn would laugh at Arthur. Oh, yeah, Gwyn definitely would. I messaged you on Discord last night. Did you see it? I did see it. And, obviously with the whole fake bay thing, like, anybody who gets fake bays, like, I wouldn't recommend it, because, like, it seems like there is some lead and such in them, and it's something, being told this by people. I'm not going to get any more fake bays or anything like that. And it's like, just stick with, like, I know they're expensive and such, but stick with the authentic TT bays, and yeah, that's the main thing I gotta say with it, But I have seen your message and such, and I've taken it to heart and realized that with things, the bays I have, they'll stick there, they'll be on the teams and such, but not condoning or anything. Just trying to keep everyone safe. Yeah, of course, Insta, you know what I mean? Like, and I totally get that. It's just like, if anybody gets like those bays, be careful. You gotta be safe, because they have, like, I guess, like lead and metal or things like that. So definitely be safe with that and get them at your own risk, But yeah, for the sake of this, I won't switch anything, because I mean, I do have like a couple of fake bays in my big 5 teams, and I can't just like outcast them or take them out, because it's about inclusiveness. And if I do that, it would go against what I stand for with these skits, with these next skits, So for the sake of that, I'm not gonna buy anymore or anything like that, But just, they're not gonna go until they get defeated and get knocked off that pedestal that they're on, because they're still strong base. That's my views on it, But yeah, how long do you think the time skip will be? I don't know, because I know from the last season it was like, what, 2 years? So maybe it'll be another 2 years, or maybe 3 years. It'll be probably a few years, maybe, But yeah, fake bays are dangerous because they have lead in them. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, So I don't recommend anybody get them. If you do, be safe, be careful with them. But yeah. Do you think Gwyn is gonna break Apocalypse and fuse with the Bay? I do. I definitely think that's gonna happen. Like I said, Big Bang Genesis literally has like it looks like it has some of Apocalypse in it. It looks like it has some of Ashura in it. It looks like it has some of Diabolos in it on the top part because of the red. It looks like a pretty twisted bay. So Gwen's gonna start getting really, really dark and using his like genius mentality and seeing all these formulas and such to break bays. And it's not just gonna be combining one bay with Genesis. It's gonna be combining a bunch of different bays with Genesis so that Genesis kind of evolves as it battles. So maybe we see like one version of it. Maybe it's got like pieces on it because the red part on it, I don't know. Is it just me or does it look like that red part can be taken off? You know, like switched up. Like how, you know, Achilles had the power mode, like that red part on it being like a different mode for it, and it could take that off. It seems like that to me. It might just be me, but kind of looks like that. Do you think season 5 is going to be another world tournament? I would not be surprised if it is, honestly, if they set it up as like a world tournament and then all these players are getting stronger, like really, really strong to see who's like the strongest and such. So maybe like a team tournament again, like how it was at the beginning of the series, but then also a world tournament, like how they had with God, you know, or Evolution, like that same sort of setup again. I wouldn't mind seeing that setup because we'd have characters coming back with new bays, you know, just want to see how they've gotten stronger. Maybe they tell background stories of how they've all gotten stronger, like what's happened since we last saw them. That would be really, really cool for sure. And then maybe have some more characters come in. Maybe some new characters. That'll be really cool. Longest time skip was 7 years, right? In the Beyblade shows. Yeah. From what I know, the longest one was 7 years, and that was after the Nemesis Crisis. But yeah, is Delta and Iga going to be in the next series? I mean, the characters that we know, at least from the silhouette picture, let's see. Let me actually pull up the picture. I'll name off everybody that is in the picture, the silhouette picture. So let's see here. And I'll name them off just to confirm it. Beyblade Burst 2020. All right. Here we go. And I'll actually show this like kind of briefly. I'll show it pretty briefly, but it's not like I'm just taking it from anywhere, you know. Got this on animenewsnetwork.com, you know, crediting them, of course, for this picture. That's everybody in the picture that we've seen thus far. So you can see right in the beginning, right in the front, that is definitely all three protagonists. Vault's in the center. Iga's on that side. That's Drum. That's Shu for sure. That's Free for sure. That's Louis for sure. Rantaro's in the background. Ranjiro's little brother is right there. And then I'm thinking that's either Cisco or that's Jaka. One of the two. A stretch, maybe Wakia, you know. But that is the look of this setup, you know. But that's hinting at a lot of different characters from the past coming in. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's gonna be wild, dude. So those are the ones that they shown out so far. So Iga, Vault, Drum, all three protagonists. We're getting that. And it makes perfect sense. You know, they're building up towards this. So this is definitely gonna be the last season. So we gotta appreciate it. You already know. Just the fact we're getting season 5, they're breaking the mold. They're breaking the mold with this, which is really cool. But yeah, Iga, Vault, Drum, Free, Louis, Shu, Ranjiro, Rantaro, but just the last character that I think is up in the air. It's either Cisco or Jaka. Yeah, like Cisco, Jaka, or Wakia. Wakia, I think, might be kind of a I don't know. It's one of them because they all have similar hairstyles for sure. That is definitely Cisco. He was the Kiyoya burst. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell because they all have similar hair. That's the thing. They all three of them have similar hair. So maybe all three of them could be in it. Who knows? But regardless, powerful Blader of the past coming back, and they're focusing on a lot of characters, and it seems like we're focusing on past characters. Who exactly they're gonna bring in? Even from this picture, we don't know. They could just drop a character like straight out and just be like, yeah, they're returning. They're returning. They're returning. They can have so many different things return with this. Imagine the Snake Pit comes back. It's like I said, Vi and Hart showing up in this next series. Let alone that would be huge, dude. Can you show it again? I'll show it real quick. But yeah, and just the pose that like Vault has, it's so wild, dude. But yeah, it's definitely Iga, Vault, Drum. They have them in the front because they're all the protagonists. and they're all really, really strong. Free, hands down. Louis, hands down. Shu, those are the ones you can't mistake. It's hands down them. Taro and Ranjiro, both brothers, hands down, it's them. You can tell by the hair. It is them, for sure. And the last character being very on the side, like I said, it could be Wakia, it could be Cisco, it could be Jaka. But it's one of those three, and it definitely seems that way. But yeah, would every Beyblade show exist in the same universe as they keep evolving? Not really. They're all in like different universes. It's just like they pay homage, it seems like, because just how they have the, like, you know, how things out, like the hill. You know what I mean? Like there's just the hill area. You know, like it's a legendary area in the series now because like Vault battling first there with Shu and such, like that area. But also it's a really similar thing because they had the hill during MFB, and I don't know if they had them during Classic Gen, but there's always like the hill. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of a cool thing. That's Cisco for sure, because Cisco puts his arm up every time. Yeah, that is a good point. But just who they could bring back with, there's so many characters that, because they're hinting at bringing back all these characters. So there are probably a lot more characters that we don't even realize yet. We can get Wakia, we can maybe get Dyna back, we maybe get Kensuke back, dude. But if they do, there'll be another case where it'd be like Kensuke and Kyle both on Kirbyus. You know, so a lot of different things they could do with this. Maybe have different versions of Excalibur, have different versions of Longinus, have different versions of Fafnir, have different versions of Kirbyus, because like two owners, you know what I mean? But yeah. Let's see, Wakia is in the middle. I know that stance. That's not Wakia in the middle. That's free. Like that's a given. That is free De La Hoya. That right. Okay, let's see here. I'll even point to them. I'll show it off one more time. That center one, that's Vault. That's hands down Vault. You can't mess that up at all. That is Vault. That is Iga for sure. You can't mess up that hair or anything. You can tell. And that's Drum, because Drum ain't got much hair. And the three protagonists, it only make sense. That flaming hair, that's Louis. That's hands down Louis. That stance right there, that is for sure free. That is for sure Shu right there. That is for sure Ranjiro. That's for sure Rantaro. And that is, like I said, that one's up in the air. Looking at it more, hitting more towards Cisco. Definitely hitting more. But yeah, hope we don't get the fat drivers in season 5. I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to go with electronic drivers. Time will tell with this. But regardless, I'm just saying this right now. Let's see. It's Cisco. I feel people are being stupid. Well, Jay, it's just that so many characters have that similar hairstyle, you know? I'm sort of pushing away from Wakia a bit. And also Jacques, just how strong Jacques was and how intense he was. It wouldn't surprise me if they have Excalibur come back, because Excalibur had a really long history and a long line. This was the first season where we didn't get a new Excalibur. This season, like GT, the only season we haven't gotten Excalibur. Besides that, we've gotten an Excalibur. You know, so it could be Jaka. And also Cisco was a credible enough character to where he can get a new Bay. But just there's so much, dude. There's so much. But yeah, regardless, there's so many characters they can bring back in. And if there's somebody that you didn't see on this particular video, this is the first picture. You already know. Like, this is the first photo that we've seen for this. This is a teaser photo. We've got a whole entire series for this. There's going to be like 52 episodes, just like any other series. And they can do a lot in 52 episodes. Just saying. So if you don't see a certain character on this poster, don't get discouraged, because they're just definitely bringing back a lot of people. This season 5 is reminding me of Metal Fury once again. Every legendary blader, they're bringing back characters as true legendary bladers, and they're going to up their power to their max. It's going to be wild. I want season 5 to start now. Well, let's enjoy GT and see how GT pans out, you know, because we got a really, really good setup right now. Do you think Ashura is going to break just like in the manga? I can imagine it breaking just like in the manga. I really can, because I can imagine like Gwyn showing up again, and then just Amane stepping up and be like, no, I'll face you, and then just break it. Show an example of Amane. Gwyn's going so nuts that he could do that. He would. What if Gwyn has a brother? Gwyn has a brother as the next boss. I don't know. They usually detach it. They usually detach who's like the next boss. Because I mean, the first season, like I said, Louis, he was just the man to beat, and then it was Shu, which was kind of a surprise. Not really a surprise after the Requiem project. It was a given, you know, that he was the evil. But then we thought that like the next people would be related to Shu. Not really. It's Fi. Fire and Hearts they brought in, and then Fire ended up being the full-out evil. And now we've got, like, Arthur and Gwen being the main things, and then it's given that Gwen's going to probably take the power of Apocalypse, and then that's how it get, like, how it's going to get Big Bang Genesis. But Gwen's going to be the ultimate evil for this season. So the next one, we won't even know until towards the end of it. But whoever it is, I'm calling it out, whoever it is trying to destroy the world. Like, not just break other bays, break all the other bays. They're trying to destroy the world. Like, end humanity and Beyblade as we know it. So it's going to get really dark. This next season is going to be the point where we get the darkest in Beyblade Burst. It's getting dark, and it's gradually getting dark more and more and more with each season. We have to see how dark it's going to get with this season, and it's going to get really dark because it's got to try and overshadow how dark Turbo got, or like how dark Chozatsu got. And it got really dark in Chozatsu for sure. But the next season, you got to try to outdo all the seasons before with the darkness. Oof. Good point. What about Theodore had a nephew who was the next boss? I can imagine Eval, Theodore, Gwen, like all these characters that are evil and have maintained being evil coming together. Theodore, I can imagine being a part of this evil. Eval, I can imagine being part of this because, evil's in his name. Eval. And then if Gwen remains evil after this, time will tell. I don't know. Will Gwen change his ways or anything like that? We'll have to wait and see the end of this. But if not, maybe Gwen can still be evil in this. And then whoever's the ultimate evil, yeah, it's going to be wild. Fi, I can't see being fully evil right now. I can see him come back as that cool character. But time will tell. Time will tell how they actually develop things with this. Imagine if you were Vault and you always have these evil character situation. How would you handle it? Go into battle and do what you can, because if there's evil out there, you got to fight it. You can't just let it linger and get stronger. That's like giving up. So even if you got a 1% chance of winning, like how Jenga did against Ryuga in the battle of the final battle of Battle Bladers, he went in and he still won. It was literally 0.03% for him to win it, but he won it. So it's about going in and not giving up, putting everything you got into it. Because if you don't try it all, you're set to fail. That's the main thing. But yeah, I would love it if it was Rago or Rago's brother in Burst. Nah, man. I just love how all your predictions for future episodes are pretty dramatic. It's just going to get dark, dude. It's going to be wild, Us. And also, thanks so much for stopping by, man. If anybody hasn't checked out Blader Aus's channel, he's been around for a long time and deserves some love. So definitely go and do so. If the Snake Pit returns, then Bo and Shu should have to return. I can imagine there being another Balcash or a Bahamut, but also Blind. Yeah. Dude, there's so many battles I want to see. There's a battle that never happened that I still want to see. That's been a dream battle that season 5 needs to do. Maybe they saved it for this season, but these two never faced off, and I've wanted to see it so bad. 6, you said it. You said it right there. Free versus Shu. I wanted to see that battle for the longest time, and they never did it. TT, do it. There's so many different battles. Like, imagine Delta in the fray, Fi in the fray, Free, Shu, Louis, like all these people, Arthur. What even, dude? Like, Vault versus Fi, that's another one. All these different battles they could do, all these dream battles that they could do with this, and that's another way of making this series that much more hype. But yeah, dude, regardless, I'm so excited for season 5. But we've got to enjoy the season we have now, season 4 with GT, because they're putting in work. TT's putting in work big time, and they make us want to see it more. They're killing it. They're doing an absolutely perfect job with this, man. It's just so great. But yeah, regardless, seeing how they're going to build towards this craziness with Big Bang Genesis, how Regalia Genesis is going to evolve, it's going to be nuts, man. Vault versus Fi should have happened in Cho Z. Maybe, but maybe they were waiting to show it off, But yeah, I hope Beyblade doesn't end after season 5. It might be that way, but there's so much they're going to do with the season. We just got to appreciate, like I said, we got to appreciate what we got. Because if we don't, it'll be in the future, and then it might be over, and then people are going to be like, oh my gosh, what happened? Because we didn't appreciate things. Like, I know there's releases and such coming out, but we got to enjoy all those releases. We just got Naked, Spriggan, the whole random booster. We got to appreciate that, along with Master Diabolos. I know there's hype about Big Bang Genesis, but we got to enjoy the releases that we just got. Because they're switching things up big time. But yeah, Anyways, Gwen versus Louis. That would be a pretty wild, man. That would be a wild one, man. There's so many dream battles I want to see. Like, this next season is gonna blow all of our minds, and I'm just saying that already. But yeah, I want Vault to come back so bad. Vault's in it. They've shown Vault off with these most recent episodes, and it's given when Gwen starts going nuts. That's probably when they're gonna bring Vault back in the fray. Same thing with Iga, and they're probably gonna help out Drummond victories. But yeah, anyways, for now, gonna end this off. Can't wait to see how things go. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this epic episode review. If you did, be sure to slice the crap out of that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell for my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. Where did Iga go anyways? They kind of put him on like the side for now, but they're going to bring him back in the fray. When they bring Vault way back in, they're going to bring back Iga in big time too because they're the protagonists. You know, they're not going to just leave them out. Plot, you know, all that good stuff. But yeah, also, big, dude, it's just hitting me in my heart because I know this is going to be the last episode review I do with these purple gloves. End of this year is the 28th now, 9/30, 31st, 3 days. New gloves. So the videos you see for the next 3 days with these gloves, don't forget them, man, because the color is going to switch soon. The profile pic, you know, the Perseus logo, going to change colors. Also the gloves. But yeah, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Till then, stay awesome. And cool shoot. I'm up out of here.